Everybody, John McClellan here, ATX Hot Sauce, atxhotsauce.com. Don't forget, if you like the video, to subscribe below. Welcome to the show. As you know, most of the time we're doing hot sauces. Well, today we're actually going to use one of ATX's hot sauce. We're going to use the Big Green and our up-and-coming Tomatillo salsa to make stuffed poblanos. One of my favorite meals ever. Easy to make. I'm going to show you how to do it today. All you need is a rotisserie chicken, some poblanos, avocado, tomatoes, garlic, salt, pepper, a little pecans, a little onion, some jack cheese. I'm going to throw it all together and stuff it in these roasted poblanos. Let's get started. All right, first things first with these stuffed poblanos. Well, we got to roast them first, right? So the best way I found to do is get a cookie sheet, put a little foil on the bottom, lay out your nice poblanos. Make sure you get the ones that are pretty, even keeled. They don't have some weird shape. Like flat ones are pretty good. And a little bit larger size, that way you can actually stuff them too. But we're going to broil these in the oven at about 10 minutes per side, just until they get a little char on them, then we get that skin off. All right, so what are we going to be stuffing these poblanos with? Well, the first thing is chicken. Easiest way to go is I like to go and get a rotisserie chicken from a local supermarket, right? They all have them. You can get it pre-pulled or whatever. I like to get the full chicken, shred it myself, so we're going to do that here in just a minute. We're also going to stuff it with a little bit of broccoli in the mix too. Show you how that's done. Get to sneak in some of those greens with your kids, right? We've got some onions, some green onions. We've got an avocado, some Roma tomatoes, garlic, salt, pepper, a little dried cilantro, and pecans, and a pomegranate to go on top with the jack cheese. All right, let's get shredding this chicken. All right, we got the chicken shredded. We're gonna add it to a couple of the other vegetables that we're gonna do first. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use a little bit of avocado oil. How do I know it's avocado oil? Because I label mine. And I like the avocado oil because it burns at a very high temperature. So we're gonna put some of this in the pan. Then we're going to put the onions in here with it. Let's let that oil heat up for just a second. It's not going to take long. You're probably wondering why I have a induction thing here and a stovetop, but I have a hot plate induction and I'm not using my stovetop. Well, for future knowledge, when you install an induction stovetop, it uses a lot of electricity. So I'm having to get it rewired right now. So in the meantime, we've got our nice little induction hot plate here, which we're going to be using. I love induction, control the temperature very easily and very precisely too. All right, that's probably good enough. We're going to add one chopped yellow onion. Okay. Then we're going to put a little bit of salt in there. All right, while we're waiting on the poblanos and the onions, let's go over a little bit of the recipe one more time. We got our shredded chicken. We're gonna add that with the broccoli into the sauteed onions and garlic. We're gonna let that seep down a little bit. We're gonna add our green sauces to that too. A little bit of water. We want the broccoli to really start falling apart and for the chicken to get ultra tender, right? And then we're gonna stuff it in these great roasted poblanos. So hold on for 1 second. Let's get this stuff going. While we're waiting on our poblanos and the onions to get going, let's go ahead and slice up this. Need a knife. Trusty knife. Easy way to do a poblano. Just spin it around as you cut. Careful, watch the fingers. Open it up, beautiful. I love avocados. The creaminess just adds so much to the dish. And easy to find. Pretty healthy. And, oh, that's my timer. That is for our poblanos. One of the things I do recommend is you put a timer when you have it in the broiler. The one thing you don't want to do is leave them in there too long. All right, look at that. Beautiful roasted poblanos. We're going to do a little trick here, though, to get them, the skins to separate a little bit and let them cool off just a little bit. So, take a Ziploc bag. They're going to be hot, so you got to be careful. Grab it by the stem, put it in. 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 And we're going to zip that up What that does is it steams it all, helps those skins to separate, because we're going to peel all those skins off there. We don't want that in our final product. All right, let's get our tomatoes cut up now too. Just brings a little brightness to the dish. I like to use Roma tomatoes, very thick skin. They're great for making salsas, pico de gallo, things like that. How we doing on our onions? Really good over here. Just another minute or two, and then we're going to add that garlic. We add the garlic at the last part because we don't want to burn the garlic. Makes it not taste very well, and we don't want burned garlic in anything. It'll take away from the whole meal and overpower everything. The best way to cook garlic, if you're going to cook it for a long time, put it in some oil at a low temperature, like a confit, or just saute it with some onions. But like I said, make sure you do it towards the end. All right, I think that looks pretty good. That's a lot of garlic, isn't it? Well, I like garlic. And we're going to let that saute here just for a minute. Let's go ahead and turn my oven off. You know, this is a great recipe. You can sit around on a Saturday or Sunday, or heck, even when you come home from work at night. Chop up some vegetables, get that rotisserie chicken, get it all going in here. Gonna make you look like a champion, right? Like a real chef. Of course, one of my favorite things to do when I get home from my normal job is to sit around and cook. It's one of the most relaxing things to me. I know some of you may or may not think that cooking is relaxing. I do. Maybe it's because I usually have a glass of wine while I'm cooking after work. Maybe it should be tequila because we're making kind of a Mexican theme here. Okay, we're going to let that cook off for just another minute. Then we're going to add our tomatoes, and we're going to add our cilantro. Then we're going to add the chicken and the broccoli with our hot sauce and our salsa inside there too. And then we're going to let that all cook down. We're going to put about a cup of water in there too. Let's let this cook for just another minute. Down, 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 down. All right, I think our broccoli is all ready now. We're going to add the cilantro into it. A little bit of pepper. Next, we're going to add in our tomatoes. Our ATX Tomatillo salsa, which is one of my favorites. It's got a real good tang, a little bit of a bite to it. Great salsa we make here. Let me taste this. I don't know if you can see the color, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Got a little tang to it, just enough bite. Gonna add that whole can right there. Get that good mix. I don't know if you can see this, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Next, we're going to add our chicken into the mix. Put that all down. And our broccoli. So that's it, just like that. Now, I'm going to let that saute. I'm also going to add about a cup of water to it. Make that 2 cups. Now we're going to put a lid on this and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. We're waiting on the chicken, right? We're waiting on chicken and broccoli, the stuffing that we're going to put inside the poblanos to simmer for about 20 minutes. While we're doing that, we got a pomegranate. Pomegranate's one of the things we're going to be putting on the top of it as a dressing. I love the sweet tart that goes along with a little spicy. I think it just gives it a little bit a great flavor enhancer. A lot of people are a little bit afraid of pomegranates. They don't really know what to do with them. Today I'm going to show you what to do with them and how to get those seeds out really, really easy. You can also buy these in the grocery store, de-seeded with just the seeds and a little thing. They are more expensive, so if you can save a little bit of money, I'd recommend trying it this way. What I like to do is just take off the end right here on each side. Just like that. You don't want to go down the side of it. And then we're going to cut it just like that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, how do we get it out? I like to do a little cut across here, cut across here, cut across here. do this. And just break it apart like that. You're gonna get your hands a little dirty here. Get a wooden spoon. Okay, get a wooden spoon. And voila, you get almost every seed out of there. And trust me, buying a whole pomegranate is a lot cheaper than buying them individually. Already done for you. All right, next what I like to do, so check that out, right? Gorgeous, like all those come out. You got a little bit of the membrane still in there. You can go pick it out by hand or just run a little bit of water over it. I like to run a little bit of water over it. All right, put some water in there, take off the floaty pieces, and what are you left with? Some beautiful pomegranate seeds. All right, still waiting on the chicken and broccoli to cook down. In the meantime, I've taken the poblanos out of the plastic Ziploc bag, and as you can see, the skin's really peeled away. It makes it real easy just to go in here and peel that skin off. You know, some restaurants, they'll leave the skin on, or they won't cook the poblanos every single time, take the seeds off until they stuff them. But this is the way I like to do it. I think it makes just a little bit better product. You don't got to get all the skin off, just the majority of it. Just like that. Easy. All right, we got the majority of the skins taken off. Now here comes the tricky part. We got to get the seeds out. You don't really want to eat the seeds, but you don't want to really tear into the poblano. So some of them are already split open. I like to see how they're going to lay flat, right? Because remember, you're going to stuff them and lay them back on here when we cook them in the oven. So let's just open this little guy up. You don't got to have to be like every single one of the seeds out, but I like to get the majority of them out. Just stick your finger in there. Just pull as many as you can out without ripping the pepper apart. Another thing you can do is run it under some cold water to get those off too. They just kind of stick. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Perfection. All right, now let's go do the rest of these. Now, if you have one that doesn't have a slit, there usually is one. You can kind of just run your finger up there and then twist off the little right around the stem. Don't take the stem off though. All right, we've got all these peppers de-seeded. We're going to set this off to the side. Still waiting on the chicken and broccoli. It should be just a few more minutes. Then we're going to get these things stuffed. All right, now we're waiting on the chicken. Let's make the sauce. And this is what we make with the Big Green. I like to take a whole bottle of our Big Green hot sauce. Make sure you take the little stopper off. We're going to dump it in a blender. By the way, this won #2 place at the Austin Chronicles 31st Annual Hot Sauce Festival just a couple of weeks ago. 2nd place in green sauces. We're pretty proud of that. We actually had 4 winners. We had 2 first place winners and 2 second place winners. We're going to be putting a video out about that pretty darn soon. Now, take the green sauce and we're going to add that avocado that we chopped up. Get that all in the blender. Cover your ears. All right, we got this all blended up. We got our Big Green hot sauce, award-winning Big Green hot sauce with avocado. And I did add some lime juice just to give it a little bit better consistency. It was a little too thick. We're going to take this and put it in a little bitty squeeze bottle, if that'll actually work. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just put this in a bowl. Take our avocado bowl, get a spatula here. Oh, that looks absolutely fantastic. This is going to go right on top of our poblanos. All right, guys. We got the chickens ready. We got the roasted poblanos are ready to be stuffed. We got our green sauce that's going to go on top of it. Let's put all these ingredients together and see what happens. Typically when I'm making this, I let the chicken cool down a little bit more than I am right now. But we're gonna go ahead and stuff them hot, so be careful if you do this. It is very hot and it can burn you. So as you can see, our chicken has really broken down, so is the broccoli in here. And we're gonna take it, and I like to use tongs because I don't want too much juice in there because they're already gonna sweat a little bit in the pan. Okay, we'll get that all stuffed in here. Okay, got that all stuffed. Now here at this point, I like to put the pecans on. Don't mix the pecans in with the sauce because they'll just get soggy. So what's gonna happen is when we put this in the oven, it's gonna crisp it up, right? You just put them right here on top. If you don't want pecans, then don't do pecans. All right, then we're gonna either do shredded or sliced jack cheese. You can do any kind of cheese you want. I like to do a little bit of jack cheese that's shredded on there. And this is pepper jack. I like a little bit more flavor to mine. All right, let's get the rest of these stuffed real quick. What I love about this recipe is there's actually stuff left over. So you can make tacos with it, some burritos, you can just eat it plain. Really good stuff. Don't put too much cheese on here. You don't want it overpowered. Overpowering that pepper and all the other luscious goodness inside here. All right, we're gonna put this in the oven for about 10 minutes at 375. It's already cooked, just melting the cheese. All right, we got our peppers out. Look, they're absolutely gorgeous. We're not done with them yet, though. All right, let's go ahead and plate one of these up. Take one of the little smaller guys right here. I haven't had lunch yet, so this will be my lunch today. Gonna go ahead and plate that up. Let's put these aside. Gonna do a little garnish on here. So that green sauce that we made earlier. Gonna drizzle a little bit of that on there. Okay, a little green onion, just because if you've watched any of my other videos, I love green onions. And just for a little texture, a little sweetness. How about that? Stuffed poblanos, stuffed with chicken, broccoli, great toppings, great sauce. Check us out, ATX Hot Sauce, atxhotsauce.com. Subscribe below, tons of other videos on there. I think I need to taste this now. Be a little warm, but that's okay. Get some with a perfect bite here with a little bit of the Wow, so good, simple, good for you. You gotta check this recipe out. That's fantastic. All right, guys, thanks very much. ATXhotsauce.com. Subscribe.